Dostoevsky might have had a time machine. There, I said it. And why and how did I reach to this conclusion? I'm gonna discuss that with you all. But before that, I think to discuss that, I have to be a little personal with you all. I have to share where currently I'm standing in my life and what I have been thinking for the last few months. So in short, nothing seems to be working right now. Absolutely nothing in my life seems to be working right now. I wake up every day, I do things, I show up for the things that I love, but nothing is clicking anymore. Be it professional, be it personal, be it creative, nothing is landing the way I thought it would. And I mean it in a very slow death kind of a way. The plans that I made, the versions that I thought I would be right now, they all seem to be so out of reach. And it also seems like the more I try to grab them, the more they just move away from me. And I can't even really fully explain this to other people because from the outside, probably everything feels fine because I'm not really in an immediate crisis. I am just kind of stuck in this in-between place, in this purgatory where I am not what I used to be, but I'm also not what I want me to be. I look back at my past and I think, wow, I really did come a long way. But then I look around, I look at my age, and then I'm like, shit, I'm still so far behind. And this constant back and forth, it's just so suffocating and frustrating. I started this channel, I started multiple Instagram accounts, but right now whatever I touch feels like to be cursed. Nothing is sticking, nothing is working, and I'm at a point where I'm questioning everything that I've had done and everything that I'm currently doing. And the thoughts are getting louder and louder every single day, and to kind of placate them, that's why I picked up a book. And the book happened to be Crime and Punishment by Fyodor Dostoevsky. And I know it's probably not the right time to read this book. Probably this is not the perfect reading material for me right now, but to be honest, I picked it up not because of reading. I picked it up because I just wanted to shut down my own thoughts and my own mind. And it kind of worked. It kind of worked better than I thought. Oh, I actually forgot to introduce myself. Hi, I'm Ray and I'll be 26 next month. Today it's June 24th when I'm filming this, and on 15th of July I'll be turning 26, and I'm currently having a very severe midlife existential crisis. So I'm going to talk about why this 19th century Russian novel is making me feel understood and seen after a long period of time. Let me try to articulate this properly because I feel like many of you might feel or might exactly know what I'm trying to convey. There is this specific kind of frustration where you know that you have tried your best, you're still trying your best, you studied for it, you are working hard for it, but still you are not really getting it. There is no reward at the end of it. And it is not like one big failure that has happened in my life, it's more like the small failures, and now that it has culminated, now that it has gathered together in my mind, it is kind of very suffocating and it is getting difficult to get through it or cope with it. So now every day I question myself, did I do something wrong? Is it me? Was my plan bad all along right from the start? Do I even know what I'm doing? And I think if you start questioning the plan that you built, you are also questioning yourself. And then you kind of go into the spiral thinking, who am I? What am I even doing right now? Does it even make any sense? Am I wasting my time? You're basically confused about who you are and what you are capable of. And then I think comes a stage where you start comparing yourself with the people around you, specifically with the people who share the same age as you. I start making up all these scenarios in my head, which is mostly pessimistic. And I think that's where I kind of connect with Raskolnikov. Raskolnikov is the protagonist, the main character of this book, Crime and Punishment. So if for those of you who do not know, Crime and Punishment basically follows this main character Raskolnikov, who is very poor. He is from St. Peter's and he is deeply convinced that he is made up for something so much greater than how he is living right now. He has this philosophy, this theory that some people who are really great, they exist above the moral law, and that greatness can justify everything. That if you're truly exceptional, then the rules simply do not apply to you. So he acts on it and he commits a crime based entirely on the version that he thought he was, and then everything like starts falling apart. His mind turns against him. He starts feeling this immense guilt, paranoia, and he kind of starts hallucinating, and everything falls apart from there on. And I want to be clear, I'm obviously not comparing myself with this murderer. No, not at all. That's not what this is about. But what happens to Raskolnikov after he committed the crime is genuinely fascinating to me from a psychological point. He starts hallucinating. He gets fevers. He cannot eat. He cannot sleep. And everywhere he goes, he kind of keeps revisiting the crime scene. He kind of keeps questioning himself. He tries to keep on hiding the evidence. And the interesting part is that nobody even suspects him right now. He is putting himself in situations where he can get caught, and I think it's more like he's kind of punishing himself. He also starts constructing this elaborate justifications in his mind, telling that he was right, what he did was right, and he is fine, he's okay, he has his alibis. But then the next moment you see him completely collapsing, and every conversation that he has with people, he feels like everyone is suspecting him, and that he kind of reads in between the lines. He gets so consumed by this gap between who he thought he was and what he currently did, that like he cannot cope up with it. He cannot function at all. And this is where I connect with him, not because I committed any crime, but because I feel like I am also making up situations in my head. And I'm also like, for instance, if I see my mom and dad talking, I always feel like they're talking behind my back. They're talking about how much of a disappointment I am, and most probably they are not. I feel like people I know, the friends and everything, when they listen to me, they kind of, when I'm like ranting to them about my problems, they are getting frustrated with me, and that they probably do not want to hear it. Most probably that is not the case, but that's what I'm currently thinking. I think Raskolnikov is failing because his version in his head, the version that he thought he was, is currently not matching up with his reality. It also reminds me of Alfred Adler. Alfred Adler has talked about this thing called inferiority complex. It is the gap between who you are and who you thought or who you think you should be. And his whole point is that this gap is not necessarily a bad thing. It is what drives the people. But the problem arises when this gap kind of becomes larger and larger and larger, and then it kind of starts consuming you. It kind of starts paralyzing you instead of actually motivating you. You kind of stop moving towards the goal, and you kind of start suffering, and you get frustrated with yourself. Over here, Raskolnikov thinks he is above himself, but truly, if I really think about it, I feel like he is a delusional person, to be honest. He always came off to be as a delusional person, and I feel like he has a big inferiority complex, and to not think about it, he kind of deludes himself into thinking that, oh, he is so great, he is meant for great things. And so basically he's deluding himself into having a superiority complex rather than what he currently has, which is an inferiority complex. That's what I feel. Dostoevsky, I think, wrote this in 1866, but currently in 2026, I am going through the same things. My mind is also kind of in a same situation, and it's very fascinating to me that a man who is dead, long dead, but still was able to like write about what I in 2026 am feeling. That is why I feel like he had a time machine, and I don't know whether I should be impressed or concerned, or maybe both. I have not finished reading this book. I'm currently reading this. I am at page 138. To be specific, I'm at part 2, chapter 2. And this is not really a review, but I was just reading it, and I really wanted to talk about what I'm feeling currently and how I am feeling connected with the main character and the story right now. And I think that is the whole point of this video, because in the middle of this mess, just like Raskolnikov is. There is a BTS song called Road or Path, and a particular segment of the song lives rent-free in my mind. It's basically talking about the paths that were not chosen. It is basically talking about all the what ifs and all those alternate versions of yourself. Maybe the in-between is supposed to feel like this. Maybe I'm in the in-between phase. I don't really know what my future holds, to be honest. All I see is darkness, not even going to lie. I don't know what I am gonna do. I don't know where I'll be next month or by the end of this year. And I don't know why, but I feel like time is flowing and moving really fast. Like, we're already 6 months in. I cannot believe it. Like, we just have 6 months more to get over this year, and I feel like it just started yesterday. Basically, you can say I am still figuring it out. By the end of this year, I would like to look at myself in the mirror and say, yeah, you actually did something. I don't mean a big enough success, but I do want to look at myself and say that, okay, you did do something. You are actually starting off good. You're starting off strong. That is all. That is what I wanted to say about this video. I just wanted to talk about how I was feeling and how I connected with the story and the main character, and how Fyodor Dostoevsky definitely had a time machine. Because what do you mean he could feel me? He could understand me, like, even after being long dead. I would suggest you all to read it. It's definitely not an easy read. It's a classic, so yeah, it does take a lot of time. And honestly, I have been in a huge slump, in a reading slump, in movie as in I cannot sit through a single movie or a series or an anime. I just don't know. I'm in a very weird position right now, which I cannot explain, like I mentioned. It's just I want to do something, but I also feel like, what is the point? Because I just keep on failing, and still I'm trying so hard to get up every day and just work it out, or to make it work. And yeah, if you are feeling what I am feeling right now, just know that you are not alone. Definitely not. I am on the same boat as you, and maybe we'll get through this together. But yeah, bye.